Millions of men think these signs are just normal aging, but they're actually red flags your prostate may already be enlarged. Are you one of them? Let's find out before things quietly get worse. Have you been waking up more than once a night just to use the bathroom? Or maybe you've started planning your outings based on where the nearest restroom is. It might feel like just aging, but it could be something more. Something your body's been trying to tell you. It's called benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH, and by age 60, more than half of men are already dealing with it. Quietly, uncomfortably, often without even realizing it. In this video, I'll show you 5 signs your prostate may already be enlarged, and what you can do starting today to feel better and take back control. Before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We talk real health here, with honesty and compassion. And tell me in the comments, have you noticed any changes in your bathroom habits lately? Your story might help someone else. Let's get into the very first sign, the one that often sneaks in quietly, but starts stealing your sleep. Frequent nighttime urination. Nocturia, your body's first cry for help. Waking up tired again. You know that feeling, right? You're finally settled in for a good night's sleep, but then, bam, it's time to get up, yet again, to use the bathroom. It's frustrating, and honestly, it can leave you feeling drained the next day. You start wondering, is this just what happens as I get older? Here's the thing. When your prostate grows larger, it puts extra pressure on your bladder, especially at night. That pressure means your bladder can't hold as much, so it sends you that urgent wake-up call, sometimes 2 or more times in a single night. But waking up frequently, that's not just normal aging. It's your body's way of signaling that something's off. I had a friend, George, who told me about those restless nights. He'd wake up, feel frustrated, and then the next day his energy was nowhere near what it used to be. Missing out on solid sleep wasn't just about feeling tired. It was about missing moments with his grandkids, feeling less sharp, less vibrant. It's a quiet kind of pain many men don't talk about. There's a common myth that nocturia, that's the medical word for frequent nighttime urination, is something you just have to accept when you're older. But the truth is, it's often a sign of an enlarged prostate and can be managed or improved. So, if you're finding your nights interrupted too often, don't just shrug it off. Your body is trying to tell you something important. Daytime urgency and frequency. When your bladder starts to boss you around. Have you ever found yourself planning your day around where the nearest restroom is? Maybe you hesitate before leaving the house or avoid long trips because you worry about suddenly needing to go. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. When your prostate enlarges, it doesn't just bother you at night. It can make your bladder feel like it's constantly full, even when it's not. This happens because the swollen prostate presses against your urethra, making it harder for your bladder to empty completely. So, your bladder sends urgent signals more often, and you might find yourself rushing to the bathroom multiple times during the day. Let me share a quick story. A good friend of mine, Bill, told me how he started to feel bossed around by his own bladder. It made him anxious and less willing to be spontaneous. Simple things like visiting a new place or running errands felt stressful because he had to know where every bathroom was. This kind of bladder urgency can feel like it's stealing your freedom, but it's important to remember it's not just in your head, and it's not something you have to accept quietly. A common mistake many men make is ignoring these daytime symptoms, thinking they're just a normal part of getting older. But those signals, they're real, and they deserve attention. The good news, understanding what's going on is the first step to feeling more in control. And soon, we'll talk about one of the most noticeable signs that often follows, a weak or hesitant urine stream. Weak flow or hesitant start. When the stream doesn't cooperate, have you ever stood at the bathroom, ready to go, but found yourself waiting and waiting Maybe you feel like the stream just doesn't start right away or feels weaker than it used to. It's frustrating, isn't it? You're not imagining it. This is a very common sign when the prostate starts to enlarge. Here's what's happening inside. As the prostate swells, it squeezes the urethra, that tiny tube your urine travels through. This pressure makes it harder for urine to flow freely, so your stream weakens, or you hesitate before things get going. I remember hearing from a gentleman named Harold who said this symptom made him feel embarrassed, especially when visiting friends or traveling. Sometimes he even avoided social events because he worried about needing extra time or feeling rushed. Does that sound familiar to you? You're definitely not alone. Now, a lot of folks think this is just part of getting old, or that it means they're losing control. But that's a myth. It's not about willpower. It's about what's physically going on in your body. Understanding this can be empowering, because it means you're noticing something important and can take steps to manage it. So, while this symptom can feel isolating, remember, there's a whole community of men dealing with the same thing, and help is available. Up next, let's talk about a less obvious but equally important sign: the discomfort that sometimes shows up in your lower back or pelvic area. Lower back or pelvic discomfort, the overlooked signal. Sometimes, an enlarged prostate doesn't just cause bathroom troubles. It sends signals you might not immediately connect, like an ache or discomfort in your lower back, hips, or pelvic area. You might brush it off, thinking, oh, it's just my old spine acting up, or blame it on arthritis. But here's the thing. That discomfort could actually be your body's way of telling you something's going on with your prostate. Take George's story, for example. He'd been dealing with persistent lower back pain for months, thinking it was just part of getting older. It wasn't until a routine checkup that his doctor mentioned his prostate might be the cause. Once he got treatment started, that nagging pain began to ease. Why does this happen? When the prostate enlarges, it can put pressure on nearby nerves and muscles in your pelvis and lower back. Sitting for long periods, poor posture, or inflammation can make that feeling worse. Many seniors make the mistake of ignoring this discomfort or assuming it's unrelated to their urinary symptoms. But connecting these dots can be crucial for early action. Remember, this kind of pain isn't just about aging. It's your body asking for attention, and listening to it can help you avoid more serious problems down the road. Now, discomfort can affect more than just your body. It can touch on something deeper. So next, we'll talk about how an enlarged prostate might impact your intimacy and self-confidence. Trouble with intimacy, when an enlarged prostate affects more than just urination. Now, this is a topic that's not always easy to bring up, but it's really important. An enlarged prostate can affect more than just how often or how well you use the bathroom. It can also impact your intimacy, your sexual performance, and even your confidence as a man. You might notice a lower sex drive, discomfort during intimacy, or trouble with performance. And if that's happening, you're not alone. Many men feel confused or even embarrassed about this, thinking it's something they have to just accept or keep quiet about. But it's important to remember, this isn't about weakness or anything personal. It's a common effect of BPH that deserves attention and care. Take Henry, for example. He'd been feeling less interested in intimacy and worried about how it was affecting his relationship. When he finally talked openly with his doctor, he learned that lifestyle changes and some medical options could really help. And that hope made all the difference. The truth is, there's no need to suffer in silence or feel ashamed. Nutrition, exercise, and professional help can improve things more than you might expect. So, as tough as it might be to talk about, opening this door can lead to better health. Not just for your prostate, but for your whole well-being. Next, let's look at some everyday habits that might be quietly making your prostate swelling worse, and what you can do to change that. Lifestyle habits that quietly worsen prostate swelling. Alright, now let's talk about some everyday habits that might be sneaking under your radar, quietly making your prostate symptoms worse without you even realizing it. You know, those little things we all do without thinking twice. For starters, caffeine and alcohol can be real troublemakers. That morning cup of coffee or an evening drink might feel like a comforting routine, but both can irritate your bladder and increase the urge to go, making your symptoms flare up. And dehydration? It's sneaky. When you don't drink enough water, your urine gets concentrated and can irritate the bladder lining, making things feel worse. Then there's long periods of sitting, maybe catching up on your favorite shows or reading. Staying seated for too long can increase pressure on your pelvic area, which can add to that discomfort or swelling around the prostate. Plus, some common medications, like decongestants or certain antihistamines, might tighten the muscles around your urinary tract, making it harder to pee comfortably. I remember hearing about a gentleman named George who loved his afternoon coffee and rarely moved from his armchair. When he started waking up several times a night and feeling uncomfortable during the day, he thought it was just aging. But after learning about these habits, he made some small changes and felt relief. It's easy to think, oh, this is just normal for my age. But that's a myth. Small changes in lifestyle can really make a difference. The key is knowing which habits might be silently making things worse and gently shifting away from them. So, if you've been wondering why your symptoms feel stubborn, this might be why. The good news, you can take back control by tweaking these daily habits. Coming up next, we'll flip the coin. Let's explore natural nutrition tips that can actually support a healthier prostate and help ease swelling. Natural nutrition tips to support a healthier prostate. Now, let's talk about something that's both simple and powerful: the foods you eat every day. You might be surprised just how much certain foods can help calm that swelling and support your prostate health. For example, pumpkin seeds are little powerhouses packed with zinc, a mineral that's essential for prostate health and hormone balance. Just a handful a day can make a difference. Then there's tomatoes, which contain lycopene, a natural antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation in the prostate. Cooking the tomatoes, like in a warm sauce, actually makes lycopene easier for your body to absorb. And green tea? It's not just a cozy drink. It's full of antioxidants called catechins that may help lower prostate swelling. I know it can feel confusing when so many superfoods are talked about. You might wonder, does eating these really help? Or is it just hype? Well, there's solid science behind these foods. They help fight inflammation, which is a key player in prostate enlargement. Plus, staying hydrated is crucial, but try to sip water steadily through the day rather than flooding your bladder all at once, which can trigger that urgent feeling. One common mistake is thinking you need special supplements or expensive foods to make a change. But sometimes simple swaps and adding these natural helpers to your meals can ease symptoms and boost your overall energy. Picture a warm bowl of tomato soup with a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, or a calm moment with a cup of green tea. Small moments like these can really add up. Next, we'll talk about when it's time to reach out to your doctor, and why that step is about taking control, not fear. When to talk to your doctor, and why it's not too late. Now, let's get real for a moment. Deciding to talk to your doctor about prostate health can feel a bit scary, right? You might think, am I overreacting? Is it too late? But here's the truth. Reaching out is one of the smartest moves you can make. It's not about fear or fixing something broken. It's about taking charge of your health so you can keep enjoying the things you love. Doctors have simple tests like the PSA blood test and the digital rectal exam. Yes, that sounds a little uncomfortable, but it's quick and painless. These tests help catch problems early, even before you feel major symptoms. Remember, many men your age live well with mild prostate enlargement. but knowing what's going on helps you avoid complications like infections or bladder damage. I remember a good friend of mine, John. He waited years to mention his symptoms because he thought it was just getting old. When he finally talked to his doctor, he felt a huge relief, like a weight lifted. He was able to start treatments that helped him sleep better and regain his confidence. So, if you're noticing any signs we've talked about, or just feel unsure, don't wait. You deserve to feel good, rested, and in control. Up next, we'll wrap everything up with a quick recap and some encouragement to help you take your next steps with confidence. Let's take a moment to look back at what we've learned today. You're not alone in this. Many men over 60 face the same challenges, and recognizing the signs is the first brave step toward better health. Remember these 5 key signs of an enlarged prostate: waking up multiple times at night, frequent daytime urges, that weak or hesitant flow, discomfort in your lower back or pelvic area, and challenges with intimacy. Each one is your body's way of sending you a message. Listening to these signals means you're caring for yourself, and that's something to be proud of. You're not broken. You're informed, and that makes all the difference. I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these signs? Or maybe you have some tips to share. Drop a comment below. Your experience could help someone else feel less alone. If this video gave you helpful insight, please share it with a friend or family member. You never know who might need to hear this today, and that simple act could truly change a life. And don't forget, in our next video, we'll dive into the top prostate-friendly foods every man over 60 should know about. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching. Here's to your health, your comfort, and the many great years ahead.